no days off.
None, dude. So I get recorded.
No. It was close, but
Sonny, we never take off when it comes to new comics. Every week,
Every single week.
we've got more. I've got more stuff to go pick up.
Yeah, you do.
This week I didn't have as much stuff, but usually I have car payment, and we got to go. Go pick up our books.
Yes.
Marcus knows he's seen.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Another week, another new comic book day is upon us, and these guys got the goods to talk about.
I'm very interested in what these guys
Yeah.
are.
Let's start with Brother Marcus. I haven't heard your voice yet.
Yes. Yes. Good evening, everyone. Yes.
Good evening.
Or
Good evening.
morning or night, whenever you see me.
Wherever,
Whenever. Yes. Yes. And yes, the struggle is real for New Comic Book Day because, man, you have to choose between picking up your new comics or putting gas in your car. Anyway.
Agreed.
Yeah. I mean, facts. Anyway, so for me, the first pick of this week was, no doubt, as everyone has probably found out by now, spoilers, Superman, issue number 2. So this is the new run right out of the Dawn of DC sort of soft reboot that we just had. And this is written by Josh Williamson. So this is the Superman title. Not Action Comics Superman, which is done by our friend Philip Kennedy Johnson, but our other friend, hopefully one day, is he's super awesome. I mean, Joshua Williamson, he did an incredible Robin run. He did an incredible transition run between the Tynan Batman run into Zdarsky's, and he's been killing it. He's been doing very, very good with trying to give us a good transition within the DC as DC reshuffles and gets their some of their titles rebooted and revamped and re-released. So Superman, we're 2 issues in, and it does not disappoint. In fact, this second issue, we are introduced to a new character, and this is the design variant, by the way. This is not the
I was curious about that.
This is Marilyn Moonlight, and she was just introduced, and basically she's being tagged as a anti-villain or anti-hero, excuse me. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that pans out. We don't have much on her yet, but basically the story as it goes right now is a mysterious alien parasite has basically captured Superman and is feeding off of his energy. So he's kind of right now kind of being nerfed, and basically all the circumstances surrounding his situation points to having to ask Lex Luthor for help. Ooh. So we'll see how that
probably hates that.
Yeah. So again, not too late to jump in on the ground floor with this story. It's pretty good so far. We'll see where it pans out. And especially for new readers who want to get into a Superman book, if you're not already reading Action Comics, if you want a Superman title to jump on, this is a good one to consider.
Sick.
And then I've kind of shifted gears and kind of because really, unless you're reading Marvel's Punisher, Daredevil, Moon Knight, or Doctor Strange, which I talked about last week, you're pretty much right now. That's all. That's really good, unfortunately, for Marvel. So I've shifted gears to a manga, and this is a new manga called Candy and Cigarettes. So this is actually pretty cool. So this is a tale that features a 11-year-old assassin. Her name is Suzukaze Miharu, and basically she works for a shadow agency that's kind of like independent of the Japanese government. And the intro, basically in this first volume, we're 3 volumes in so far, so it's not too late to get in on the ground floor on this one as well, which is nice. And what essentially is happening is you have an older guy named Raizo who is he's a retired security policeman, SP. So for those who don't know, in Japan, the SP, the security police, they're an elite separate unit within the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department that is basically modeled after the U.S. Secret Service. Oh, okay. So they basically bodyguard all the dignitaries, both domestically and abroad, independent of the Imperial Security Service, which deals with the emperor and protecting his family. So he's retired. He got basically forced out, really, and then all of us. I believe it was his grandson is really sick. And he has like a sleeping sickness or something like that, so he needs to get another job. And he's approached by this shadow organization that this little girl works for, and essentially he finds out that basically his gig is cleaning up after her. So after she takes people out, he cleans up the scene right after her, and it's kind of like almost like he's her sidekick, you know, and she's just a regular 11-year-old girl. She likes girly stuff and whatever. But when she's on a mission, she starts popping caps. Yeah.
Interesting.
Taking people out.
Sounds a little like Hit Girl or whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. It's got some humor, you know, because she's like, you know, we're like I said, we're into the third volume right now, and we're still kind of learning more and more about the people who give them their assignments, as well as her background, some of her background, as well as Rizel's background. So we're still learning from the characters. So it's a good time to jump in, and it's been a lot of fun. So
Nice.
the fourth volume comes out in May. So
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Got some time to catch up.
yeah, absolutely.
Really rad. What you got, dog?
Hot dog.
So I think it's kind of fun. Sometimes we'll like throw a title out there, or Frank will mention one, or Marcus will mention one. This one in particular, Frank mentioned 3 weeks ago, maybe. And I saw it. I was like, I didn't know that was a thing, and I'm going to go pick it up immediately. This is Superman Lost, written by Christopher Priest, art by, I don't really know him, Pagulayan. I've definitely mispronounced his name. But the art in the issue was very good, so I'm down with that. And it's kind of starts off as a story where it's basically just showing Clark and Lois being a couple, and I think it does a really good job of that at the beginning.
Yeah,
they're both kind of like they're getting intimate, and then they're like, "Oh, are you gonna run out on me?" And then Clark is like, "You're the one who ran out last time," and it's like they're both super busy people and have a lot going on.
Right.
And you see kind of just the normal stressors that her and him have. They're also have normal people problems. Just on like kind of a grand scale.
Right.
And it kind of goes into Lois is doing some kind of article about something, and then Clark gets pulled away because there's this alien spacecraft that was crashed, or they don't know that yet, but they think I can't remember off the top of my head. It's a submarine or something in international waters, and the Japanese government, maybe the Chinese government, I don't remember which one, and the U.S. government are kind of fighting over it, and the Justice League comes in, clears way, goes down, and it's not a submarine. It's a plane or whatever it was.
It's a portal.
It's an alien spacecraft that has a singularity and is basically a black hole and can destroy Earth and everything going on. And they're like the only one of us here that can go through it and make it back without getting completely torn apart is Clark.
Right.
And so they kind of tie the Wonder Woman's lasso to him.
Oh.
He goes through it, and they're going to use that to pull him out if he gets stuck.
Right.
And they're like, "We're going to pull you out. It's getting too unstable." And he's like, "If you pull me out now, it's going to destroy everything. Don't pull me out yet."
Pull me out.
And then he gets lost on the other side. But before that, he like leaves the room with Lois. He's like, "I gotta go," and it kind of like interrupts there, whatever. And he shows up a couple minutes later. And he's just like kind of frozen standing there. And she's like, Clark, are you okay? What happened? And she's like, "What's up?" And Batman comes to the door and is like, okay, we're kind of trying to explain the situation before Clark starts to. And Clark goes, she's like, it's only been like a couple of minutes. What happened? And he goes, "It's been 20 years.
Got some interstellar vibes going.
And then it cuts to him being just much like the cover here, him floating in space after getting sucked through the singularity. And that's the end of this first issue. And the first issue ends with Lois saying, "All right, 20 years, you got a lot to fill me in on." And then the next issues will be him explaining to Lois what happened over those 20 years while he was lost in
It's
space.
trippy.
This has,
I was
good.
like,
It's really
very
this has
sold
the
on that,
potential to be really, really cool. It reminds me a little bit, I think I said in the chat, of Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Not in plot, other than the fact that it's going to be someone recounting an adventure that had already happened.
There's some parallels for sure.
And
Absolutely.
I think this has the potential to be incredibly cool, or incredibly boring. I think it's going to be incredibly cool. Priest is a really good writer, and I'm excited to see where it goes. And I'm really glad that Frank bought it the other week. And if that doesn't tell you to take some of our recommendations, I don't know what does.
I got two people to read it.
No,
But
that was
this-
pretty solid, dude.
I have it as well. So,
This
yes.
comic kind of leads me into the other thing I want to talk about Marvel Comics. This is a number one, a tried and true number one. You can pick this up not having read any Superman or any book and understand what is going on and jump into it and get on board. And I think Marvel has a severe, you could argue that DC maybe has too many, but I'd rather have too many than none at all. Marvel doesn't have any jumping on points. Everything is, there's no real limited series. There's nothing going on like that. If they are, I don't know about them and they're not marketed very well. You get the occasional, like the Incredible Hulk with Philip Kennedy Johnson will be starting soon. But all of their titles, if you haven't been reading them, you're going to be lost jumping into them.
That's where we just had that problem. I was talking about
and
some
the
Marvel stuff.
the X-Men Jonathan Hickman stuff was really good, but I was so far behind. I was like, I can't start reading it. And now apparently the new stuff isn't very great. And I just don't, I read a lot of limited issues or limited series. And I think I have maybe 3 or 4 like ongoing series on from DC. The rest of the stuff I read is limited issues, limited series, because they tend to be a little more contained and better storytelling. Occasionally you get a Chip Zdarsky's volume 1 of the Batman, which is just incredible. And you can read as if from the beginning. But I think Marvel has a severe lack of self-contained stories right now where you can go, okay, I don't want to read the ongoing stuff, but I want to read a different Wolverine story that's going on or a different Doctor Strange story or so on and so forth. And Marvel doesn't have that. They're not doing that. And like I said, you could argue DC has too many Superman stories, too many Batman. But like I said, I'd rather be spoiled for choice than not have any. And I think that's a big reason why I don't really read that many Marvel books. I'm kind of way too far behind on other stuff. And unless like somebody who we're like literally friends with is writing a Marvel book, I'm not putting it on my pull box.
Right.
And
It's
the
definitely a
Zdarsky
challenge.
and even with the Zdarsky Daredevil, which I have through issue 12, I think it's good, but there was some stuff I needed to know beforehand about what was going on and where they were at the start of those runs, and I didn't. And that's kind of why I fell off it. I was like, well, I think this is good, but I'm just going to read Zdarsky's Batman.
Right.
And
that's
I think
really
Daredevil
hard.
isn't really included in the point I'm trying to make, but you guys, like, there's no jumping on point. There's no limited series. And
Facts,
so
dude. I mean,
it's
like
hard for me to get into.
where they're at right now. I was trying to ask, like, what homework do I need to do to find out about like Sins of Sinister? You know what I mean? And it's like
Oh, boy.
House of X, Power of X, Ten of Swords. Like, there's so many characters and things that are happening that, like, if you didn't read all of that, you would be so lost. You know?
It kind of feels like that now.
Yeah, it really
A lot of the
does.
X titles that they're like, well, it's kind of required reading. You've got to read all 7 X-Men titles to know what's going on.
Right, and it's so much. The Daredevil
and
stuff
they're
that's going
not
on is good.
they're not cohesive like as
No,
far as what
no.
they're trying to do. So it's a challenge, man.
It's a challenge. That's why
Yeah.
DC's got it going on during if we're talking comics for sure. I mean, I say this every time. I'd much rather read anything DC over Marvel just because of the storytelling, and you don't have to know all this backstory. You know,
And I think one of the biggest problems is you walk into a comic book shop, you see this on the counter
shelf?
or the shelf, and you're like, that looks cool. I'm gonna pick it up. It's a number 1. You can read it. I was in the comic book shop the other day, saw a Ghost Rider comic. I'm like, ooh, that looks really cool. It's like an issue number 3, and I was like, I'm
been
really
keeping up on the
I'm kind of
Ghost
far.
Rider stuff.
It's 3 in, but I bet you if I read the first 2, I still wouldn't be up to date. And that's, or maybe I would be, but I have no trust in Marvel that
You
I
have
would
that
be able to.
expectation.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like, well, I want to read this. It looks really cool, but I don't want to waste my time and go, I have no idea what's going on.
right?
Yeah, it seems like they try to do that. They try to do it a little bit with, the facsimiles that they do. Like they'll reissue like the classic first issues of like She-Hulk or the Avengers number 8, which is one that I really like, which is the first appearance of Kang as Kang the Conqueror, not Fantastic 419, which is first appearance of Kang as Ramatut. So there's 2.
Yeah.
But, they try to do it that way. But I think Marvel's problem, just basically from what I remember seeing working at the comic shop, was they have a problem with keeping stuff available. So good luck trying to find good Spider-Man stories.
Yeah.
That's your flagship character. I should never have a problem.
Yeah, there shouldn't be
trying to-
any issue.
There shouldn't be.
But there always is. There's always issues with restocking Kraven's Last Hunt or some of these iconic event books, Maximum Carnage, whatever. And
so
you're
good.
you're like, well, really? This is like your Batman. And
Yeah,
you
you
can't
shouldn't.
keep
You
it in
shouldn't be
print.
having to search from
Right.
Amazon to
Right.
pay, twice, triple,
Right.
quadruple
And
the
as
price.
like a counterpoint to that, people will tell you what's the best Superman comic of all time. All-Star Superman. I guarantee you walk into a Barnes and Noble's
You will find
comic
it.
shop, you will
You'll
find,
find
will
that
find
book.
it.
You'll find that book.
Kingdom Come, you'll find it.
Absolutely.
Court of Owls for Batman, you'll find it.
for sure.
All those flagship, those like grand stories that people always mention when someone who doesn't read comics goes, "Oh, what should I read?" And you go, "This Superman
one.
book, this Batman book, this." You will find it.
Absolutely.
110%. Marvel, not so much.
Right.
Yeah, it's,
Right. And that is a struggle. Even like with Miles Morales. Oh my goodness. Like
It's hard.
it took forever
It's difficult.
Yeah, I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Well, we should be seeing some more Miles Morales stuff. The new game is going to be coming out pretty soon. So
There's going to be some reprints
New
and
movie.
they'll put some more stuff out there in the solicitations and this
but you shouldn't be
this
having
cur-
to wait for like an event like
shouldn't.
this to
Exactly.
like put books on the shelf.
this current Miles Morales run was it Ziegler?
Yes,
Is it right?
Cody Ziegler.
It's been pretty good so far.
I think
it's
I-
like 4 or
I think I
5
need to
issues
get on
in.
that.
It's
it's
pretty
good.
good. There are some. I don't want to I don't want to say like this. Put a dark cloud over all of Marvel because there are some
Right.
gems
Like Daredevil.
that are out there.
Oh
that-
my god,
Moon
yeah,
Knight.
for
There,
sure.
there
for
are
sure.
some stuff. I mean, they're going to be restarting Avengers. I mean, I've
Oh, man, yeah.
how many
Who's
times
writing?
have we said, "Hey, I'm on for the new Avengers run," and then it starts off, and you're like, Jason Aaron started out really good. Well, he started out the Avengers run.
Right.
It was like 60 something issues
And I
later.
forget
I'm like, I don't know.
who's starting this new.
I think it's
someone good. Someone
Is
interesting.
it Cantwell?
No, he's doing Hell.
McKay? Is it McKay?
Well, it might be.
If it's Jed McKay, I
might
might
be
get
Jed
it.
That's
you had
promising.
mentioned Josh Williamson with the Superman run. I was going to say too that Williamson had that 6-issue run. You mentioned that in between Tynan and Zdarsky taking over, Williamson was just so busy. He's going to be doing a lot of things. It seems like he's a very busy guy.
Yeah,
Coming
He
up
is
in
Jeff Johns.
September, yeah, he is coming up in September. It was announced earlier this week. I think over the weekend, I was sitting with Uncle Nephew Shane watching WrestleMania. Simone DeMeo is going to be doing the artwork for it. Of course, from We Only Find Them When They're Dead. All the artwork from that. Simone DeMeo is going to be doing the artwork. Josh Williamson's going to be writing a brand new ongoing Batman and Robin series. It'll be starting in September.
Sold.
I'm excited for that.
That's gonna be good.
He put out some artwork. Looked pretty cool. I'm excited for that. Also, Christopher Priest. You mentioned Christopher Priest writing the Superman Lost series is a really fun series so far. It's only one issue, but you check it out.
Priest is usually a slow burn.
The variant
But
is a
it's really
huge fan of Christopher Priest because
Yes.
he had an incredible Deathstroke run.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
It was really good.
Yes.
And Variant called me out of the blue. He's like, "Did you pick up Superman Lost?" I said, "Well, your dad picked up everything."
Yeah,
So
duh.
I said, "Yes, I do have it." Whatever else. He goes, "The Deathstroke stuff was so good." So yeah, it's good stuff. We're giving you guys a lot of options for you to go check out. Lots of comics. Go visit your LCS. I mean, Sonny, they got to get down there, check stuff out. Don't take our word for it. Go and check some stuff out. And let us know what you're reading. We're not saying that our choices are the right choices. They're just our choices. We want to hear your choices. Comment down below and let us know what you guys are reading right now. The stuff that if you've got manga, if you've got anime, the stuff that you're checking out, let us know what you're reading.
Yeah.
Tell us about it. We love to hear about it.
We like new stuff.
We've got lots of stuff coming out. This Dawn of DCU, I mean, the
it's
DC is coming out.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff. Lots of announcements still coming. We
Oh,
got
the Doom Patrol is even good.
Doom Patrol, Unstoppable Doom Patrol.
Yeah, that was
Tom
good.
King is going to be writing Wonder Woman.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
interesting.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
cool.
That's gonna be cool. Yeah.
That'll be cool.
And yes, the Avengers. It is Jed McKay.
Jed McKay.
Coming out
I
next month.
might get on it.
I'm interested.
I'm interested.
I'll check
too.
it out.
Yeah,
I'll check it out.
He's a good writer.
Interesting.
Sonny, you got anything?
No, you guys definitely did everything. I just want to get out. I just want to get all these books now. I'm interested in that Superman Lost a lot.
Could be really cool.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
That'd be a good movie.
Guys, if you haven't done so already, go and subscribe. I mean, what are you doing? Go subscribe, okay? And let us know your thoughts on New Comic Book Day, what you're reading, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Be on the lookout. Make sure that notification bell. Be on the lookout for all kinds of videos coming out. We got Run It Back
All week.
We got the live every Thursday. We got all kinds of stuff going on. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We will talk to you guys soon. Have a great evening.
Later, y'all.
Later.
Peace.